Good morning, world of readers. I am Book Dragon Erin, and I would like to welcome you all back to my booktube channel, where today I will be reviewing Girl Hidden by Kate Gable. Girl Hidden is a fictional mystery thriller novel, and it is the prequel of the Detective Kaitlyn Carr series. Now, in the Detective Kaitlyn Carr series, we have Girl Hidden, which is the series prequel, Girl Missing, Girl Lost, Girl Found, Girl Taken, and Girl Forgotten. Moving on to a plot, a family is found dead in their home, and the only survivor is the teenage daughter who managed to escape the burning house. The question is, who killed them and why? Detective Kaitlyn Carr is determined to bring the killer to justice. Now, a year before her disappearance, Violet, Kaitlyn's sister, comes to stay with her after a bad fight with their mom. She can't stand living at home as much as Kaitlyn did and wants to move in with Kaitlyn instead of continuing to live with their mother, who is emotionally and mentally neglectful and abusive. Kaitlyn was just promoted to detective, and her hours are erratic and long. She is basically never home, and she can't take care of a teenager. Or maybe she can. As she gets closer and closer to finding out who killed the Hendrell family, her own family reaches a breaking point. What happens when her sister asks her to do the impossible? What happens if she can't say no? What happens when the dysfunction of Kaitlyn's own family threatens to blow up in her face and let the killer off for good? Moving right along into my thoughts on this book, I actually like our cast of characters. Kaitlyn Carr, her sister Violet, and Detective Thomas Abrams. Kaitlyn Carr is our leading lady and our primary detective who's hardworking and only wants the best for her siblings. Violet is Kaitlyn's kid sister, 14 years old, and she wants to go to an art school even though her mom says it's not a good idea. My question to the mom is, why don't you want your daughter going to an art school? That doesn't make sense. I personally say follow your passion and don't care about the money. If you know why you are meant to be on this earth and you know your passion, follow it, because you will be so much happier than working at a dead-end job, just existing, not really living. For me, that is writing. I write every single day of my life, and I know that most authors make maybe $10,000 in a single year, but I don't care. Writing is my passion in life and was the reason I was born. I've written a book that I am working on publishing right now, and all I can say is I don't care what happens for the rest of my life. As long as I'm writing, I am happy. I can work other jobs, I'm fine with that, but writing is the reason I was born. My passion for writing has been existing since I was 7 years old and writing stories about my cat. I don't care if I make a mere $100 or if I make a grand total of $1 million. As long as my books are eventually published and out there in the world for people to love and read and enjoy, that's all I want in life. And to be a mother to at least 3 kids, but that'll come later. Heading back into the discussion of the characters, with Detective Thomas Abrams, he is Kaitlyn's boyfriend who started out as her friend with benefits. I do think he is sort of cute, as described in the novel, but with my track record of going for the unexpected villains, I'm pretty sure that he'll turn out to be a villain in the later novels of this series. Now, bringing up the subject of villainy, Thomas seemed a bit too interested in meeting Kaitlyn's kid sister. Let me meet her, come on, we've dated for long enough that I should know your kid sister by now. Personally, would you say those are red flags, or am I the only one seeing this? Because if this was my kid sister or my daughter, I would be so protective of them. Yes, I wouldn't be the most popular older sister or mother, but I would still want to protect my child from any and all dangers out there that you can't even comprehend as a kid. When I read books, I do put myself in the situations of the characters. In this case, I place myself in Kaitlyn's position. If my siblings needed to move in with me for their own protection, I would do it. Not everyone knows this, but I'm technically the oldest of 4. I have a brother. His name is Christopher. He's 22 and already in college. He is the smartest kid I have ever known, and I couldn't be prouder of him. And we also have 2 other siblings, but they passed away in infancy, and I think about them every day. So does my brother. If any of my siblings needed a home and couldn't live with our parents anymore, I would make sure they would live with me. I am the protective older sister. I can take the responsibility of taking care of my siblings, and God knows that if my sister or my kid brother needed a home, they would be living with me. I wouldn't trust them in the foster care system. I wouldn't trust them anywhere except with me because I am the protective older sister. Even if it was a struggle to take care of them, I would rewrite my whole world to protect them. I'm very family-oriented and extremely protective of all my siblings, even though 2 of them are deceased, and I would give my life for them. Moving a little off track, my sister had a whole plethora of medical issues, which was the reason for her passing, but if I could take on half her medical problems while giving up 50 years of my life to have her back with me for 5 minutes, I would say, give me my sister. I don't care what happens. I want her with me. I think about my sister every single day, and there is no one I love more in life or death than my sister. Returning to my thoughts on this book, the more I read this novel, the more I was sure that Kaitlyn and Violet's mom was a real sociopath. She doesn't take any interest in her kids. She is hella selfish. She does what she wants without giving a care to anyone else's thoughts or feelings, and she just straight up lied to Violet about changing her mind and really thinking, oh, art school is just a phase. There's no way I'll let Violet go off to school there because I want her here with me, because her future is determined by me, this, that, and the other thing. I don't want her going to art school because it's a waste of my time. I say sociopath or just psycho or both, because I wouldn't mind if her mom was killed off in this series. I'll get to that in a moment, but I felt so bad for Angie, the girl who survived her whole family being shot and then burned in their own home, with Angie as the only survivor. I know it's god-awful what she did, but I don't necessarily think she's 100% a bad person. Stupid? Yes. Reckless? Absolutely. And 100 other yeses about the negatives of what she did, but honestly, I pity and sympathize with her. The only good moment in this entire book was when Kaitlyn went behind her mom's back to ensure that Violet goes to the art school that she really wanted to go to since the beginning of the novel. Everything else in this book was horrible, and this novel was clearly not my cup of tea. And I personally think it's weird that the murder scene didn't trigger me, but Kaitlyn's controlling mom did. I am triggered so much by abusive parents, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, anything. Controlling parents turn my stomach and make my blood boil. I am not sure why, but it's always been that way. My question to Angie as a character: do you make house calls for characters who really deserve to die in the series? Okay, with that explanation, in Game of Thrones, people wanted an assassin to off Joffrey, and here in this book, Girl Hidden, I seriously wanted Angie to make a house call to kill off Kaitlyn's mom. Hating Kaitlyn's mom is right up there with my burning hatred for Joffrey, I'm just saying. And with character death, it's okay to wish a character would die. It's totally fine to wish a character would die because they are fictional characters, but I would say absolutely not to wishing death on a real person. It's okay with book characters, not okay with real people. Moving on to my final notes on this novel before my head explodes from the rage I feel towards Kaitlyn and Violet's mom, I rated this book 1 out of 5 stars because I hated Kaitlyn's mom's character so much. She lied straight to Violet's face and to Kaitlyn. She said, "Oh, I lied completely about that to Violet, that I changed my mind. This is just a phase. She'll be smart enough to get over it eventually, and I just hate the fact that she wants to have her own life. I'm her mother. I know what's best for her. This, that, and the other thing." She really ruined this entire series for me, so no, I will definitely not read the rest of the books in this series because I don't think it's worth it unless Kaitlyn's mom dies. Anyway, before this book review gets any darker, I will say goodbye. So if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button to show some support, subscribe to my booktube channel to get more videos like this, turn on that notification button to be notified when I upload brand new videos every single Sunday, subscribe to my second channel, Erin Rogoff Official, for movie reviews, TV show reviews, and art vlogs, and I will see you guys next Sunday.